are. We're live. Hello, everyone. Welcome to our home. Paul Fulton, Jill Fulton. We are so excited to have all of you with us today to talk about chocolate vanilla extracts and 5 others.
Yes. It's finally warm here. It's no longer cold. Last time we spoke with you, it was freezing here.
I know.
And now I don't think we had much of a spring, just mostly.
Just went right to summer.
Yeah.
We're super happy.
Summer. So we are so happy.
We even went and cut some flowers from the garden, brought them in.
Yeah, we're so excited.
We're so excited that things are living around here again.
Yes.
So welcome. We're so glad to have all of you with us. For any new people that are joining us from Eventbrite today, thank you. We hope we sort of fill your extract making cup. For all of our friends from our Facebook group, Making Vanilla Extract by Vanilla Pura, thanks as always for joining us. Our YouTube channel, other places. Thank you. We just really appreciate your following along with us on this crazy extract making journey. So it was late September, early October that our book published, the Making Vanilla Extract by Vanilla Pura. And since publication, we have been on a mission where we said we want to make every single extract in the book with every one of you and put them up on YouTube as kind of guides on people if you get stuck in certain places. So we have these how-to guides for every single extract. We're trying to get through them as fast as we can. And today
there's 40 recipes.
There's 40 recipes. And today is one of those days, and we knew this was coming, where, and those of you who have made extracts before and you have your calendars like we do, these days just happen. We have so many things that we've got to get through today. There's 6 extracts that we are going to be sort of touching today. We're going to make the chocolate vanilla extract, which we're super excited about. So that'll be a brand new extract that we're going to make. Then we've got to do change outs for strawberry extract, the fresh strawberry extract, as well as the coffee bean cinnamon spice extract. We've got to change that out. And then we have 3 extracts that are finished that we get to actually taste test. So we finished the banana extract. So we're going to taste test it, and we're going to show you how to do taste testing. We finished the orange cacao one that we started. You'll remember all the fresh oranges packed into the jar. We finished that one. It's done today, so we get to taste test that. And then lastly, I have to keep clear because I'm allergic, the pecan extract that we're excited about.
It's absolutely delicious.
It's absolutely, I hear it's wonderful.
I'm making for other people.
I know. Me and my nut allergy, it's the worst. But we get to taste test that. So 3 finished extracts, 2 change outs, 1 brand new extract. We're going to go through all of them, do everything we can, provide as much detail as we can. And we may go a little over an hour today, but we're going to do our best not to. It's just a lot of information that all happened at once. Yeah. So buckle up, get ready, start your engines, because here we go. We're going to jump right into page 92 of our book, Making Chocolate Vanilla Extract.
Which,
how did I say?
Really, you did great.
Did I? Oh. We're giving someone a $25 gift card as well, like we do everyone, right? So we're going to pick one of you, and before the show's over today, we're going to announce a winner. We always just like to say thanks for joining us, and so we'll have a $25 gift card to vanillapura.com that's going to go to one of you today as well. So I had to get that.
Yeah.
There you go. Now, my lady.
Thank you.
It's all yours.
Okay, so really, this is one of the most simple extracts that we make beyond just vanilla, and it's delicious, and it's super easy to make. There's only 3 ingredients. We start out with 1 ounce of our Sri Lankan vanilla beans, and we have 1 cup of cacao nibs, and then we have 8 ounces of white rum. Today we're going to be using Bacardi, but you can use any. I mean, we've got a big bottle of Bacardi here, so we're going to use what we have on hand. But
your favorite white rum will do.
Yes, your favorite, Captain Morgan, whatever you've got on hand, it's going to be just fine.
Yep.
Okay. So, I wanted to show you in the book, one of these reference pages that we have this plotting chart. And I really love it because a lot of times you're just wondering, what are the difference between all of these beans that we have, and what are the flavor profiles? So if you can take a look, if you can come close in here onto the book, you can see we divide up all of the profiles by light and sweet on the top, and then dark and earthy at the bottom. And then over to the left, there is buttery and creamy. And then on the right, bold and fruity. Now, if you want to look, we're using Sri Lankan. That comes under the bold and fruity, dark and earthy, a little bit closer to bold and fruity. So it's going to add some nice bold. There's already kind of a mocha chocolatey essence to the Sri Lankan. And so it's going to be a nice addition to this extract. So I just wanted to show you the plot chart. And you can see at the top, there's the light and the sweet. And then you've got dark and earthy on the bottom, buttery, creamy over here, and bold and fruity. Madagascar is right here between the light and the sweet and the butter and creamy. And that's the one that we, that's the most commonly used vanilla. So when you think of vanilla, it's usually Madagascar. But what we're using today is the Sri Lankan, which comes all the way over here to the other side between the bold and fruity and the dark and earthy. And so it already has kind of a mocha cacao flavor to the Sri Lankan beans. So it's going to be a wonderful accent to this extract.
Yep, we love it. And as you're reading the book, that's how we experienced all these vanilla beans. When we were first being introduced, we would have these parties where we'd open them up and smell them. We'd be like, oh my gosh, this one's chocolate and this one's fruit and this one. And then we would try to capture all those things in some way to explain it. And so that's been our experience. That's how we experienced all these beans. And we like Sri Lankan because it has a lot of cacao, like chocolate undertones with it that we think is really, really good for a chocolate extract.
Yeah. It's delicious. Okay, so really the only ingredients here, we're going to start with the 1 ounce of our Sri Lankan beans. Remember, you always want to weigh them to make sure you've got that 1 ounce to be consistent. I've got 1 ounce right there. We were gifted, I just want to show, we were gifted by one of our wonderful Facebook friends this wonderful cutting board. I'm going to turn it over because I don't want to ruin it.
We're going to cut on the back side.
I'm going to cut on the back side because I want to keep that side nice.
It's beautiful. One of our friends from Iowa. It's a beautiful cutting board. So thank you. You know who you are.
Much. Yes. Okay. So again, you can keep them whole. I want to, because I'm going to top it with the cacao, I need these beans to be small so they don't poke out. So I'm going to tie a few of them to keep them whole, because then later on I can slice them open and use them for ice cream or custards or those kinds of things where you want to see those vanilla specks in. So, maybe I'm going to do this to maybe like 3.
That's a monster one.
This
right there,
one's huge, isn't it? Oh,
yeah.
I just pulled that tip.
There you go.
Off.
Jill's been working out.
Oh, I know.
Rips vanilla beans with one single. We don't even need one.
Now that one is, I'll just cut that one. Boy, I am stronger than I thought. Okay, so I'm gonna tie like 3 of these, and then I'm really just gonna cut the rest of these in tiny little pieces that they'll fit perfectly in my jar. And the important part here is that you get a jar that's going to be big enough to hold the 8 ounces of vodka, the 1 cup of cacao, and this ounce of beans. And this is our French square bottle that we have on our website, and it's nice. It has a bigger opening. It fits well in my cupboard.
It's a 16-ounce size.
And it's 16 ounces, and so it's double the amount of the liquid, and it's going to be perfect. It's going to fit right up to the top once we get all of that in there.
And then as we go through and we, when we're done with the extracts, you'll see, and we'll talk about this when we get to the orange cacao, as we downsize our bottles. We start big and then sort of downsize as we're making them to free bottles up to use for new extracts again. And then when we go into our final bottles, they're usually the smallest ones we can find.
Yes. Okay, I'm just going to put in the cacao. Ooh. Just gonna I know they have like canning funnels that you can put on these, but for this jar, it's a little big. But if you had a mason jar, you could put.
I will be the funnel here. There we go.
I'm going too slow.
There we go. I'm just watching it all. You can go ahead and pour it in.
All of it?
Yep,
okay. Okay. Teamwork.
Teamwork. There we go.
We washed our hands. Universal precautions for all my nurses out there.
Yes. Once a nurse, always a nurse, no matter what.
Okay.
Microbiology changed Jill's life.
It did. It scared the hell out of me. Okay, so now all we have to do is add the rum. So we've got our Bacardi here. We are going to add 8 ounces.
We'll get questions. Can you use a vodka? Can you use other? You can. On this one, we just love the taste of the chocolate and the vanilla, and we want them to be as unencumbered as possible. And so we love a white rum for that reason. It's kind of clear like a vodka, but it's sugar based, so it's a little extra sweetness. Sometimes too, we see with the rum, even a white rum, it might take even a little longer to extract because it is a little bit stronger than a vodka. But that sugar base, in our experience, especially with the chocolate, just accentuates the sweetness. And so we love the white rum.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's wonderful. Okay, so you're just going to put on your labeling. I've got my chocolate vanilla. I'll put the date that I started it on the bottom. I like to put the page number, so if I have any questions with change outs or anything, I don't have to go through the book. I just know really quickly, oh, that recipe's on page 92. So this is going to go for 3 months. And then at 3 months, I'm going to check this, and I'm going to check the cacao. I want to know if it's chocolatey enough. If I want it to be more chocolatey, I'll leave it in for another 3 months. You could always add even more cacao, but I've just let this soak a little bit longer, and it's add a little more cacao flavor. There's an entire ounce of vanilla beans in here, and so this extract is a vanilla extract with cacao, and so it requires the entire 12 months to get the oils out of the ounce of beans.
Yeah, the purpose of this one is to have that vanilla really come forward, and the reason is it's chocolate and vanilla. It's the world's 2 favorite flavors, and so we didn't want it to be chocolate with a hint of vanilla. We're trying to make it equal vanilla, equal chocolate, where they both blend together in a nice extract, and that's the reason that we've got the full 1 ounce single fold vanilla in the bottle.
Yeah, I didn't want to have to give up on my vanilla because I'm adding chocolate extract. I wanted to have equal both, and this is the perfect solution to that.
There you go. So how easy was that? For any of you first timers, it's one of our favorites. The cacao nibs, the vanilla beans, a white rum, put it in a jar, and you wait. And right now it's clear. The cacao it's all actually sinking, which is nice. Sometimes with the coffee beans, they'll float, and when we do like a mocha or others, but these all sit nicely underneath. And now we just wait.
Yep, and
That's it.
And it's nice that the vanilla beans are on the bottom. So sometimes when they're on the top, they'll float. And then if some of them are exposed on the surface, they aren't extracting. And so it's nice to put those on the bottom.
Yep. So we're doing a change out again. We're checking in 3 months. So this one we'll put on the calendar, and who knows what it's going to bump into. We might have 8 extracts that day. So come back 3 months from now. We'll be doing that update. We'll see where we're at.
We have some crazy spreadsheets.
We have some crazy spreadsheets. We love our spreadsheets. So that is how simple it is to make a chocolate vanilla extract. And we'll talk about more of these when we do the final taste test. But we've got to run now to our next extract because we got to keep this show on the road, right?
Yes.
So next up, it's change out time on our fresh strawberry extract that we started 2 months ago.
No, last month.
Or this was last month.
Yeah, we started it
yes.
in May.
Show them the color of that. This is 1 month.
Yeah, this is 1 month. And if you see the color in these strawberries, they're pretty much white. They're, there's a little bit of, pink in there, but I mean, they're pretty much white.
But if you look at the very bottom where just the fluid is, you see the color of the extract itself. It's this dark red, beautiful. The vanilla bean that we put in there has been extracted. And so just as a reminder, this started with 8 ounces of fresh strawberry, 8 ounces of 195 proof Everclear, which is 97.5% alcohol. So almost 100% alcohol. And I'm going to give a quick refresher because it's important, right? So the 8 ounces of alcohol to 8 ounces of Everclear meant that if you Google moisture content of fresh strawberries, oh, did I say 8 ounces of alcohol? I did. I meant 8 ounces of strawberries to the 8 ounces of Everclear. If you Google the moisture content of fresh strawberries, it's anywhere from 85 to 95%. So we diluted all that Everclear with the moisture content inside the strawberries, right? That's why we put the vanilla bean in there, and it didn't burn. If you put a vanilla bean in Everclear and just let it sit, that bean won't extract at all. And we can see it's extracting really, really nicely. It's because we diluted it with the moisture content from the strawberries.
And it's like fresh juice.
Yeah, so now it's time to take the first batch of fresh strawberries out and replace it with the next batch. And already we were actually smelling this before because we're like, let's just take a smell. It's strawberry forward already. It's
Yeah.
beautiful.
But there's a creaminess to it. I'm getting the vanilla
You're
in there
picking
too.
out the vanilla, yeah. Yeah. So it's
Okay.
already quite fun.
So what we're going to do is we're just going to separate out the vanilla. We're going to take out all of the strawberry and vanilla. Then we're going to put the vanilla back in, and then we're going to add 4 ounces of fresh strawberries back into it, and then we're going to wait another month, and then we'll do a taste test.
And we are bringing the French press back.
We're bringing the French press back.
For those of you that have been to all of our shows, you know we have practiced. We are so excited to bring back the French
Yes,
press.
this was from one of our friends on Facebook. Well, actually, I think several people use it,
Mhm.
right? You know, and usually this comes out. What do I
Use
do
the
with
knife there.
those? Yeah.
Your tweezers. There you
Yeah, I
go.
had tweezers around here somewhere. Oh, you know what? They're behind you. Would you mind picking those up for me?
Yep. So we're going to, while she's doing that and kind of digging through it, so we had the 8 ounces in, which means it diluted the Everclear from 97.5% alcohol all the way down to just under 50%. And our range is 35% to 50%. That's what we like to keep everything that's got vanilla in it to make sure that it extracts properly. For those of you that can't get 195 proof Everclear and you're doing your strawberries with fresh strawberries and maybe you can only get 150 proof, I know some states limit it, then this is it. You're done at this point. And if you don't like how it tastes, if you want more of a strawberry flavor, you can always add like dried strawberries, the freeze dried strawberries, to add a little bit more strawberry flavor because you're not going to be able to dilute the Everclear anymore. In Utah, where we're able to get 195 proof, we're able to do 2 rounds, but we've got to cut the next round in half. So we start with 8 ounces of strawberries. Now we've already measured, and we'll add it here in a minute, just 4 ounces. And that will keep our alcohol volume, our ABV, like right around 37%. I've done the math. We have another spreadsheet, but we're right around 37, 38% with the 4 ounces that we'll be adding here in a minute. But let's talk about the French press. What's the idea here?
It's just an easy way to separate the fruit from the liquid. You're just going to push it down. And, you know, I mean, I don't know if you guys can see that, but it is the most beautiful color. I'll show you when we're done here.
It's lovely.
It's like an amber, but red.
And the goal is those strawberries, they absorb a lot of the moisture. They have moisture in them already. And we're trying to get all that moisture content out. And the French press is such a fun tool to be able to just like squeeze it all out, pour it in. It pours nicely. And just like that,
and
it comes out.
You know, you're going to have a little bit more in there when you pull this out. I'm just going to come in and get the vanilla beans out of here. Put those in here.
These long tweezers have been super helpful as one of our tools when we're going back and forth and doing change outs, just for this reason.
They're actually for lizards, feeding lizards. They're food safe.
We have a nephew. He loves snakes and lizards.
Yeah, he's like, oh, I have some of those. Yeah, I got them on Amazon.
So he showed us where to get them, and that's where we found it. Yeah. But they have others that I think aren't for feeding lizards.
I know, but
you know, extract making is about family and our nephew. So we think of our nephew every time we're using these tweezers.
I actually do.
He's a lizard and a snake guy.
Yep.
And he's still alive, which makes us happy. He hunts rattlesnakes, by the way, just for fun, which
scares
crazy, but
to death.
He loves it. Goes out to the desert and finds rattlesnakes.
Yep, takes pictures. And okay. So here we go. Now I'm going to leave this in here. And for time's sake, I'm going to leave it alone. I'm going to put it aside. But I could probably just let it sit for a minute, squeeze a little more, and I can get a little bit more out of there.
Yep. So here, I can set it down.
Okay.
Show them the color of that.
I forgot to get the strawberries out.
Oh, there we go.
Okay.
But let's
Before I add the strawberries, I want you to see this color because it is just, you can see it.
And that's after 1 round.
This is just 1 month. And you know what's kind of nice about this is, you know, when we're making vanilla extract, we're like, oh, really? So many people say 12 months? I can't wait that long. That takes too long. Well, while you're waiting, make some strawberry vanilla extract or, you know, coconut, or we have so many other options in the book that take
the cinnamon
lot-
extracts, the spice
Yeah, a
extracts. They
lot
can all
less
be ready.
time.
But
Yep.
this one is already beautiful. And so, and again, fresh strawberries, they're in season. They're not very expensive. You can get them. You can use just white rum, which you can also get at a very good deal. So the reason that we spend so much time talking about fresh fruit is price.
It's affordable
It's
when
super
it's in
affordable.
season.
And it's a way to now have that strawberry taste in your cabinet year round.
Yes, and we know vanilla beans are not inexpensive. And so,
Yeah.
let's find some ways that we can use them in other ways that are less expensive.
Exactly.
So we can still get the benefit from vanilla, but also fresh strawberries and.
So will dried strawberries be more highly concentrated? Of course they will. And we address that all the time, but we spend a lot of time on fresh just for this reason. It's not cost prohibitive. You can make it when it's in season. It tastes amazing, and the flavor and the extract lasts years and years and years in your cabinet.
Yep.
So
So
there
just
we
like
go.
that, I pre-measured that, pre-weighed it. So it was 4 ounces. And then this is just gonna, oh, it's so pretty. I just want to taste that.
It's beautiful.
This will be ready in a month. So in one more month, we'll go ahead and check it out. And I'm gonna go ahead and right here, I've got a change out sticker on it. And this is why I like to use masking tape. I know it's not pretty, but while I'm in the process, I don't want to use stickers that are hard to get off. And so I just use this masking tape until I'm finished, and then I can use something more permanent. And this just says, do a test taste on 7-Eleven.
There you go.
There we go. And I
So
have my
join
little
us in
live, so
July.
I know we did this together.
Yes.
Because I've got a lot of other extracts in the cupboard.
So join us in July when that one will be finished. This is always one of our favorite ones, and so it's always a fun one to look
So
forward to.
good in ice creams. My goodness, it is a little bit on the creme anglaise.
Well, and in your
goodness.
tea, like a splash in like your tea. It's fantastic for cocktails. In addition to all the cooking.
Yes, and the chocolate. I forgot to mention that the chocolate vanilla extract is really good in your tea. I have a strawberry tea that I like to have, and I just add a little bit of that extract, and I get a little strawberry and chocolate both in the tea. It's yummy.
Yummy stuff.
Yep.
Awesome. So there we go. So we've got the change out of the strawberry. Come back next month. We'll taste test it, which is a fun one. Next up, we've got the coffee bean cinnamon spice extract that we started in April.
Yes. Here it is.
What do you need?
I just need this one here.
Okay. I'll move this now.
So this is, I like to, this is a really big strainer, and I'm using, just because I've run out of my smaller ones because we're doing so many different extracts today. But when you have these harder ingredients like the coffee beans and the cinnamon, they're just easier to put into a strainer like this. And then I'm just I'm just jiggling them out.
And you'll remember we ground some of the coffee beans. We didn't grind them all just to get that coffee flavor exposed, but as a result, they absorb a lot.
Mm-hmm.
The powdery stuff is still in the bottle. It's kind of hard to get it all out.
I'm actually going to leave this in here until I'm done, and then I will strain it out. A lot of this, some of this is cacao, and some of it is just the vanilla specks.
Mm-hmm. That's a really important tip that we should talk about for a second, is there's no need to clean it all out at this point, right? Because there's still flavor inside the powder that's inside the bottle.
Yeah.
So we're just going to leave it.
Yep, we're leaving it. We're going to take out just the coffee and the cinnamon, and then we're going to put back the vanilla in for one more month. And we're just kind of letting that vanilla catch up a little bit. It's only two, I'm trying to remember, I've got so many things. We put in,
1 Ceylon cinnamon stick, 1 cup of coffee, and it's been going for 2 months.
Yes, so they're Indonesian beans.
Yes.
And we only did 2. And so this is not a vanilla extract. This is a coffee cinnamon extract with a vanilla accent. And so really the vanilla is just trying to soften it, bring this buttery sweetness to it, because coffee and cinnamon can be quite bold. So it's just kind of a binder in this extract. And when is vanilla ever a bad idea?
And how does that smell right now? I'm sorry, that's beautiful.
It smells so good. And you know what you can do once this dries out? I will kind of ground this down and add it into the brew of my coffee. It is delicious there is a huge difference than just, just the plain coffee that you would have in the morning. Add a little bit of this, plus that, you will have your own unique little blend in the morning, and Starbucks will have nothing on you. because
Exactly.
This is delicious.
Because it's got vanilla flavor, it's got cinnamon flavor, plus it's got your coffee beans.
Yeah, and when this
Yeah.
extract is finished, put this into anything chocolate, because coffee just makes chocolate so much better.
Yes, love it.
Okay, so I like to use a cocktail muddle to kind of push things out. There's not a lot of that's alcohol that's going to be dripping out at this point. I let it kind of sit for a minute. The thing about coffee beans is that they absorb a ton of the alcohol, and no matter how long they sit and drip here, there is some of it is just in the bean, and it's going to just evaporate. And so we're going to probably lose more in alcohol in this extract than we would like the strawberry. So let's measure when we're done here. I'm not going to throw this away. I'm going to dry these out and use them in my coffee later.
Here, I'll hold it while
would you put that in the sink so we don't I'm going to go ahead and measure. I'm just curious how much it's taken.
Oh, the smell of this is wonderful.
Wow.
So we've lost almost half on this one.
Half. Yes.
Now there's a lot that's still dripping here, but they're thirsty little guys.
We'll put that back in. There's some still in here.
Yeah, we're losing a little here. So we're just going to leave this and we'll let it continue draining.
Now I'm going to add maybe like 1.5 ounces back to this. Because the coffee and the cinnamon is so strong, it'll be just fine. I wouldn't add another 4 ounces to this. This is actually the most I've ever lost. I have lost 2.5 before, but I guess it just depends on the beans, maybe.
The beans, and then how much of them we crack open, the absorption rate. I mean, it's all. If you
crack more open, maybe more is being absorbed. But I think you'll be good to add just 1.5 ounces, maybe no more than 2.
And again, we're going to be putting it back in where we still have the fluid that's left within the powder on the side.
And then I need to get the vanilla back in here, because the vanilla.
And then there's already some more vanilla that's at the bottom of that.
This is the thing. Yeah, we're going to let gravity do its thing. And that's why I have separate strainers for each one, because these will sit here for a bit. And I'll just kind of let gravity do its thing. And because you can only, push out so much, and then you just kind of have to wait. With this extract, it's supposed to be done in another month. But these vanilla beans are going to stay in here the whole time until you can't cover them anymore. So they're going to continue to extract. So the longer it's in here, and you can use it, but it'll just get more vanilla as time goes by.
Yep. And then the common question that always comes up when we're making something like this is, can you take the vanilla extract from your mother jar that's already extracted and add it in? Absolutely. If you took a finished vanilla extract right now and wanted to top it off, you'd be adding more vanilla flavor to it, which would be wonderful. It's already extracted. If you extracted your vanilla following the right recipe, then you should be north of 35% alcohol, less than 50, which means it's just like adding vodka in, but it's a finished extract. So you can use that to top it off to bring even more vanilla forward. Those are some tricks that we've seen. So if you don't want to wait forever to have that vanilla be fully extracted, you can start it with vanilla extract, and you can add vanilla extract as the topper instead of adding alcohol. But in the case of this coffee, in our experience, it's super potent, and the cinnamon, we always find it's okay to top it off just with a little more alcohol. And we still have a wonderful extract.
This color is so, you can see the difference. And this is the dark, dark, dark brown. It's beautiful.
Yeah, this is a fantastic extract.
I'm going to shake this up just to get all that yumminess back into the liquid.
So then we wait 3 months on this one, because again, what we're waiting for is the vanilla to come forward. And so we'll do a final in July. No, did I get that one?
Yeah,
I was one up. I was looking at the wrong bullet. Look at that.
Yeah, no, this is actually done in a month.
Yep.
So it's a total of 3 months. I think that's probably what you're
No, yeah, I just looked one up there.
Yep.
You got it.
So this is supposed to be done in July, and we'll taste test it and see. Because we did have to add a bit of vodka, but I really don't think you're gonna tell. It's we're gonna wait for that vanilla to catch up, and it's gonna be delicious.
Yep. So there you go. So there's our change out for our coffee cinnamon spice. And again, the big tip is dry the coffee beans and the cinnamon sticks in the oven. Put them in under a light.
Oh, I don't even dry. I just
lay
let
them out until they're dry.
Yeah, I put them on a cookie sheet on a wax paper, and I just let them dry on the counter.
I know a lot of people will put them in the oven just with the light on.
Yeah.
And then they just let them dry. And then as soon as they're dry and you can pulverize them because there's no moisture in it, then you've got it and you can put it in your coffee, right?
And I do not grind them until I use them. So I have a bag full of them, and then when I do my coffee in the morning and I grind my coffee, I just add that in. So it's as fresh as it can be after being extracted all that time. But I'm opening that up right before I drink my coffee. It is delicious.
One of our favorites. Fun.
Okay.
Okay, good. So let's jump. It's taste test time.
I know. This is the best. We actually finished something.
Are these the first ones that we finished? No, we did a taste test before. I think we did another one.
No,
since like I have a memory since we started in November. I can't remember. But anyway, I'm excited about this. So it's time to taste test our orange cacao vanilla extract. And this orange cacao is a journey, right? From slicing the oranges, then zesting the oranges, the change outs that we do. This is an extract that required some work.
Yeah, this was a little bit more intense or had a lot more steps in it than like our chocolate vanilla that we just did. We were putting all that fresh oranges in, and then we had to take those out, and then we have to leave the zest and the cacao in, and now we'll take all that out and see, did it turn out?
Yeah,
I'm thinking it has.
We know it turned out.
We've done it before.
And so this is a real fun one. So again, the goal, if you'll recall, when we started way back, and I think we've got the date here when we started in February. So we started this in February. The goal is like those old, when we were kids, we had the orange creamsicles, right? But then it's also the little bit of chocolate that comes through. And I'm actually crossing my wires because this is the cacao one. I'm thinking of the orange cream one, which we're not doing yet. So this is orange cacao forward with a hint of vanilla behind it.
Yeah.
There we go.
Just think of what you want to have, like that orange chocolate flavor. You've got some of those yummy candies that have a little chocolate in it.
It's the Christmas orange.
Well, and also this would be really good in just brownies because, you're tasting the brownies and you will taste just a titch of orange. Put it in the frosting on top and people are going to be like, what is that? I'm tasting what, orange?
Yes.
It makes it just that much better than just plain chocolate.
Yes.
And then again, it's wonderful in adding it to your teas and your coffees. Who drinks? I never drink coffee just the way it comes anymore. I have so many things to add to it.
Yep. So this is the one you brought in the other day and didn't tell me what it was. Which
I know. I do this.
This is what Jill does to me.
I bring it in to his office and I'm like, okay, tell me what you're smelling. And then sometimes I give him a taste test, and then I never tell him what it is because I want to know if he knows.
And it could be any, because she's making we have 50 behind the doors here. And so I never know what it is, but this is the one you brought in just the other day. It's lovely. Let's go. I don't want to. It's wonderful.
Okay, so I'm pouring it all into the strainer, and if you use a mason jar, it comes out just like that.
Yeah, we love the mason jars for that reason. When you're making them, not for gifting so much.
Can you rinse that off for me?
Yes.
I want to have that coffee and then maybe that.
Uh-huh.
If you can see, you've got, all of the orange zest still in there mixed with the cacao. And then you've got the vanilla beans. I just push it down. I also sometimes use a potato masher. I just look in my cupboards and I think, what do I have that already works? So I don't have to spend any more money. Hobbies can be expensive, and I just try and figure it out how I can save money where I can save money.
There you go.
So I just push this down, and this again is one of those ones where I will leave it in here, and for the sake of time for the video, we'll be done here. But I'm going to leave this in here and let it continue to drip. And then when I'm done, again, I will put this out just on a cookie sheet and I'll let it dry. And you can add this to sugar. You can grind this up in a food processor and have an orange chocolate sugar. And there's so many applications for these leftover ingredients. We just don't throw anything out. It's wonderful.
And again, the smell of this one coming through is pretty
Isn't it?
remarkable. It's lovely.
I know, I'm
Yeah.
craving brownies.
Yep.
Okay, so I'm not going to worry that there are small pieces of zest on my beans. It's not going to make a difference. I just get the big pieces off because I'm going to strain it when it's finally finished. When I'm done here, I'll strain it out.
But the idea with this and with really all the extracts that we make is we put the extract or the vanilla back in, and we keep the vanilla in for as long as it's submerged, right? Because as we're using it, as soon as the vanilla gets below the water line, there's always like the concern, like people are like, well, will it mold? We've never seen a vanilla bean mold because it's sticking out. Again, the reason we want to keep them submerged is because if it's not submerged, it's not extracting and it's not really serving a purpose.
It's just
not
sitting in there aging
Yeah.
without any purpose.
Yeah, we'd rather put it in a mother jar where it
so-
can be fully submerged.
Yeah, there will be times where I've got just this much left and I keep cutting it and cutting it and cutting it. And especially in these recipes that don't have an entire ounce of beans, I want to keep, I want to keep it all in there. So all, just the little bit of vanilla that we've put in gets through all those other stronger ingredients.
And then some people will ask, can I take my fresh fruit or in this case, the orange vanilla bean, and can I toss it into my mother jar? Is the taste of the orange going to overpower everything in the mother jar? And the answer is no. But let me even say the answer is it depends on the size of your mother jar. So if you've got a 1 gallon jar that's already almost full and you're putting in a few vanilla beans that have been extracting in the orange, you're going to be just fine. If it's a small one that's brand new and you're just getting it started, then certainly you're going to pick up the orange. But even more so, it's not like picking up the orange is a bad thing. Picking up the orange is a good thing.
Well, you're going to create your own unique blend of a mother jar, and it's
Absolutely.
not going to be overwhelming. You're just going to have a hint of
Yeah.
an orange.
But you may want to start another mother jar, like you need another one. But maybe you start another mother jar that is vanilla beans that come from fruit extracts, or another mother jar of vanilla beans that come from coffee or cacao extracts or cinnamon or spice extracts. And so then you can have different sort of themes of mother jars going where you're saying, okay, these are my fruit beans, these are my spice beans, these are my cacao and coffee beans, and then these were my regular extract beans. And so then you're adding all these flavors deliberately and creating all sorts of new tastes, which are really, really fun.
Well, I'm going to just set this on this so I
Yep.
don't lose any of it. Again, this is a beautiful color. And on the bottom, I don't know if you can see this, but there's a ton of caviar in the bottom of this.
Mm-hmm.
See if you can.
A whole bunch. And the
Yeah.
orange, the smell,
Oh my goodness! Should we
the
try?
cacao.
Can we try this?
Please, I've been waiting.
Okay.
Por favor.
Here we go. Now, taste testing. This is important because we never taste vanilla by itself because that's disgusting. It's never going to taste good.
Well, it's not disgusting.
It is.
Here's the analogy. It's concentrated. So it's like, the old snow cone syrup. If you have grape snow cone syrup right out of the bottle, it doesn't taste great. You need to pour it over the ice of the snow cone, and then you can taste the grape. So the more concentrated something is, the more your mouth is going to say, what's going on here? So remember, the number one ingredient in all extracts is alcohol. So you're always going to smell that. The presence of alcohol is there. If you go to the store today, you buy pure vanilla extract, number one ingredient. Well, the number one ingredient is water, because it's 35% alcohol. The other 65% is water. Number two is alcohol. Then you have the beans. It's always going to be alcohol forward. So you got to expect that. And so you need a medium to be able to do the taste, because we get this all the time. People will like dip their finger in and they'll taste it and they'll be like, I don't like the taste of this extract.
Still tastes like alcohol. And
We're like, exactly. If you go to the store and you buy it and you dip it, unless it has been fully inundated with corn syrup or sugars or artificial flavor, which, a lot of pure extracts, they'll still add like sweeteners. They'll add sugar. They'll add corn syrup because they use the 35% and the 1 ounce of beans, but then they added, instead of 65% water, it's 60% water and 5% corn syrup. And
or
so they
if you're
still
using glycerin, can add a sugary taste.
can add sugary taste. So the difference between pure and sugar added. Certainly, if you add corn syrup to this, you could drink it right out and you'd be like, okay, that tastes like great. But our intent is to give a pure extract, which means highly concentrated, nothing added, pure flavors, only from the fruit and from the spirit that you're tasting. So you need a medium like milk with the oils that are inside milk, the naturally occurring sugar to spread it out so you get a good taste. This is such an important point for us, right?
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
Again, it's not very good by itself. You need to add a little bit of milk. And I'm just eyeballing it here. I'm doing about a tablespoon.
It's usually like a tablespoon of milk to 2 or 3 drops.
Yeah, I've got
stir it around.
2 tiny little drops here. Somebody also gifted us these cute little
Yes.
shot glasses, and we use them every time we have a taste test because you know what? This is a lot of work here. We should be able to celebrate.
This is celebrated. So
cheers.
Cheers. But now before, we've watched a lot of videos on like taste testing, like spirits and other things, but there's tricks to taste testing. You want to nose it and you want to breathe it. You want to breathe in with your mouth open when you're breathing it in. I'm serious. Breathe in through your nose, but your mouth open. And then you let it's just such a lot of work. But before, I'm smelling the chocolate, I'm smelling the oranges, I smell the vanilla, right? And then you taste it.
Okay, you guys, if you have this, please make brownies.
Oh my!
I'm going to. Oh my goodness!
Oh my gosh! This is one of the very greatest extracts.
Wow!
I mean, it's like our extracts are like our children. We love them all equally, but this one. This one got into Harvard. No, this is a great extract, right? Yes, this is wonderful.
Wow. So if any of you have made this before, can you tell me what you used it for? Because, maybe there's some other ideas that we haven't mentioned that you love it in, because I will be making brownies.
Yes.
Wow.
Leave it in the comments and let us know. Those of you that have made this, you already know this is a delicious, wonderful extract that we're going to have a lot of fun with, right?
Yes.
So 1 for 1. We got 1 taste testing done.
So I'm going to get a smaller jar because,
Oh, this is an important point. We need to talk about this.
This is 8 ounces. So I didn't lose maybe a tiny smidge under the line of 8 ounces. So I really, with all of those ingredients that we started with, I didn't lose any. Adding all that water, it was great. We got, we've got 8 ounces out. And so I'm going to put it in a smaller jar, and then I can use this mason jar for a new extract, and it will take less space in my cupboard. That's important when you have a lot of extract, you need more space. And smaller jars fit better in places where I can easily use them.
Absolutely.
So I'm going to put the vanilla beans back in. Since they do have the some of the zest on them, I will make sure that we get all that off before I put them in the final extract.
And then there's 2 things that we'll do here. We'll put it in a very functional jar that we use in our kitchen all the time. Usually it's like those 250 milliliter jars that we love, these here. And we'll get like a spout. If we know it's an extract that we're going to be using in our kitchen a lot, we can get one of these jars and we put the metal spout right here on top, we have on our website. We can just put that right in there for easy pour. But if we're gifting it,
I also use just this Boston round. It's an 8 ounce, or we also have it in a 2 ounce, and it's cute. I like to gift it in this, and it also just fits right next to my stove nicely, so I can use it like I do olive oil and salt and pepper.
But you'll know, those of you that have made a lot, some jars pour really clean, some jars don't pour as clean. When you have the little pouring spout, it makes for a clean pour every time. So it's just whether we're going to be using it a lot or whether it's going to be gifted, we'll go into jar selection mode. And that maybe is a show that we even put together.
That would be fun. We could go into like gifting ideas and you can share with
us. The pros and cons of all the different jars. We could do things on like how well they pour, pourability ranking, things like that we're getting feedback on, and what makes a good jar, what makes a bad jar. There's lots out there. That's a good idea. Coming soon to a kitchen near you. A live on jar selection. That's kind of fun. I'm excited.
Well, in part, the jar selection is you go searching for them. That could be a fun little activity with you and your friends or your family, that you go find cute jars that are unique to your own unique extract.
And for those of you that love the little Avera jar with the mountains on the bottom, we have new jars that are coming. So it's a little leak, but they're coming soon. So we have some fun new jars that we're really excited about that we hope to have available in the next few months.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little leak there. She always looks at me like, why did you say that? Because I'm excited. They're beautiful jars and we're so excited about them. So coming soon.
Coming soon. I don't know when, but soon. That's why I never say anything because I don't know when. But
Coming
he
soon.
can help himself.
I get excited. They're beautiful. They're so pretty. I can't wait.
Oh, okay.
All right.
So the next taste test is our banana.
Bananas.
And we started the banana 3 months ago in March. And we did 3 change outs of bananas. Because, bananas aren't super strong. It takes quite a few, change outs to get a good flavor out of these. We also added our Rioja Pompona beans, which are very large and beautiful. Let me show you.
Well, we added them because they have kind of a banana taste.
A big banana flavor to them, which is the
Yes.
perfect. That's half of one.
Here, let's clean those tweezers. You've still got some oranges on there. I
Oh,
think.
shoot.
Yeah.
Thank you.
There we go. We got it.
Good thing it's not pecans.
I know. She don't think she hasn't tried. So we use freeze-dried bananas on this, right? To try to now kind of do a version where we're using dried. So we go fresh and dry for those that like to do it. But also with the blander vanilla or the banana taste, we wanted to get as much flavor out of it as we could.
So we're going to taste this. And because it is dried bananas, you can go another round and another round and another round. Because you're not diluting the alcohol. If you do not feel like it is enough for you, you can keep going. But we have found that 3 change outs, usually gives us
Plenty.
a good flavor.
Yep, I'm just making sure I've got all the little zest pieces off. Yep, and you got to push out. They absorb. They're like little sponges. So you want to make sure that you're pushing out as much of that alcohol, well, in this case, the extract, that you can.
And you can, again, what do you do with these leftover bananas? I think they're delicious. I usually add sugar to them and I dry them in the oven, and then just kind of snack on them. Again, these have been soaking, and so it's not like banana chips. You're not going to get like this wonderful banana chip flavor. But it'll still taste like bananas, and
it's a nice little snack, but you got to add sugar to it. That's what we've found.
I think it's delicious, but it's not going to be like banana chips or freeze-dried bananas before you soak them in alcohol.
No, most of the flavor now is in the extract. So
And
you need a little sugar.
You're going to taste the vanilla in it, and you're probably going to taste a little bit of alcohol too.
Yep. So we're all about no sugar in the extract, but when you're trying to like save the ingredients and find a use so you're not throwing things away, sometimes you need that spoonful of sugar.
And you could ground it up and put it into something.
Yeah.
Did you
catch my Mary Poppins quote there?
Yeah, he loves Mary Poppins.
I do. There's a Dick Van Dyke special coming out in December that I'm excited about.
Oh, really?
He's like 98 years old. Still working out 3 days a week.
Okay, I'm just going to put that
Sorry, I
there.
digress. Love him.
Let's see. How much do I have here? So I have about 3/4.
And we still have some that's in vanilla beans.
A little
right?
bit.
Yeah.
Yep. So I'm about 1/4 of a.
So the question is to top or not to top. And then the options on topping are we could add a little vanilla extract if we wanted the top, like we just talked about, or we could add a little more alcohol if we felt like the banana flavor was strong enough, or you just leave it as is. And you say, okay, we lost a little through the process and we like what we have.
And that's what I would do here. I would not add alcohol at this point. I want to use it. I want to use it tonight. I want to use it tomorrow. It's finished.
Yeah.
Unless I want to do a whole nother round of bananas, then I may consider putting a little bit more alcohol in here. But I want to taste it.
Because in this case, it takes a while for bananas to get really concentrated. That's why. Whereas with coffee or other things, they're really, really potent. And it's different. You can top them off without having sort of the watering down effect. But with bananas, because it's so hard to get concentration, you kind of have to.
Yes. So I am going to just a couple.
Taste test number 2.
Here.
Spoonful of extract. Oh man, I can smell it and it's lovely.
Mm, that would be lovely in ice cream.
Well, this is a creams and custards and obviously bananas Fosters and things like that that have banana, but any kind of cream and custard where you want to go a little more banana forward. This is a wonderful extract. All right, here we go. Cheers. Okay, remember, smell,
Gosh,
nose,
just drink it.
tease out. Now you want to experience, you got to just experience the whole thing. Tease out the different
Oh.
scents.
You got to make ice cream with this. Ice cream, that's what I'm wanting.
Oh my gosh. It's beautiful. It is lovely. I think you're right. I think ice cream. In fact, you could even do a vanilla ice cream with like the vanilla caviar to get the vanilla speckles, but instead of vanilla extract, use banana. And
You've got caviar in here.
because there's caviar in there. Well, I'm saying if you wanted more caviar, you could add the caviar, but yeah, in a vanilla ice cream, this would be wonderful.
Mm,
It's wonderful.
wow.
It's rich, it's banana, and again, the nice thing is you're taking bananas, you're now preserving them in a way that they can go in your cabinet and you have banana flavor forever at your fingertips for as long as you need it,
And
for anything you want to use it for.
and I'm gonna let gravity do its thing in case there is a little bit more. Usually on the bananas, there's not much left over, but I'm gonna set it over here.
Mm,
Everything's sitting for gravity to
wow.
do its thing. And then we'll let them dry out, and then we'll do what we do with all the leftovers.
I love it. That is 2 for 2.
Yeah.
Beautiful extracts.
Mm.
And we're about to go 3 for 3, but I'm gonna have to sit this one out. I'm just gonna be the commentator here.
I know.
I'm gonna have to take Jill's word for it that it tastes great.
Yeah.
Let's jump into pecan extract. Hey, friends, we started this one. Is this date correct? Did we really do a show on Christmas Eve? 12/23 is when we started this one.
No, 12/19.
Oh, 12, the date. I did the date wrong here.
Yeah,
12, okay. I'm
we-
like, did we really do that?
And no one would have been watching.
Well, we're still 12/19. 6 days before, 5 days before Christmas Eve.
yeah.
Wow. That's
Well-
what we were doing this holiday season.
We'll probably be
This
Have a
is
good-
delicious. I really feel so bad for Paul because he misses out on so many yummy things. And I do not bake for our own family with certain nuts, but I will if I'm going to a different event or to someone else's house. I will make some things with nuts in them. And it's a treat for me because I don't get it very often. But this
And that's the
this is
downside
what
of being the person with the allergies. I always feel bad because people miss out on having these great flavors. And everyone is always so nice and accommodating. I always tell everyone, make it with nuts so the people that they can enjoy it, and if there's one without, I always am happy.
he is.
Yes.
He's easy. He is so easy to please.
I'm
I'll tell
always
you, he
happy
really
that
is.
everyone's happy. And so we had to have a pecan extract, even though this one is not independently verified by me as being wonderful. But I take everyone's word for it that has made it, that we know it's wonderful.
Okay, so I'm just gonna kind of push. I think most of this for what that's gonna come out now is already out, and then I'm again gonna let gravity do its thing. I do want to say that I will snack on these by themselves. Just you can taste the vanilla in here. I also have ground it up and put it into like the crust of things. So you have just a little bit of that pecan vanilla flavor in your pie crusts or like breads, your quick breads. It is really quite delicious.
So Carol
the-
says she's found that the nut extract really absorbs a lot of alcohol, but it doesn't. It doesn't seem to be as much the case with the
It
pecans.
is true. It
But
is true.
yes.
It does absorb more than like the fruit would. Kind of similar to the coffee.
Yeah.
But and maybe not as much. I'm just going to set it down here just for 1
Okay.
second. I'm going
Got
to
it.
put it back in here. I usually like to have a spout, but that's a beautiful color.
And there's a little measurement on the side that'll tell us roughly how much we have there over here. Is that the ounces? We didn't put it in here to measure it, but it appears that we didn't lose a ton.
I lost an ounce.
We lost an ounce, and
Yeah.
there's still a little that's coming out through gravity, but we
Yeah.
lost about an ounce with the pecans.
So, I mean, if you wanted to go a little bit longer, maybe you could add more. I'm good. I'm ready to use this. But it is an option to go a little bit longer and just add a little bit. That would be up to you. But with some of these, some of these ingredients, wow, they do soak it up, and maybe that's why it's so good to snack on.
Right. Charlotte, I
because
think, calls them her boozy, like the boozy nuts. Like once they've been absorbed, then you can candy them and they make a really good treat.
yeah,
Lori made a comment though where she says, I don't care for the pithiness of extracted nuts. And so that'll be a question I have as you taste them. Are you getting a little pithiness?
oh, I didn't notice that, but I will pay attention.
We hear that
Yeah.
obviously all the time with like our orange cacao because we start with whole oranges and the pith is there. But the way that we do it, we don't really get the pithiness there. But with nuts, I haven't heard that. So I'm curious to get your
Yeah.
take. I'm just sharing some comments. Since I can't participate, I am reading comments right now. Someone is cracking jokes about drunk nuts. Yes, that's what happens.
I have had a lot of these nuts and have had no intoxication. So you
Yeah.
guys are going to
Nancy says, "Oh, Laura, here come
fine.
all the jokes. All right, here we go." But yes, they
have an
Starlet had a.
have the extra spoonful.
If you're on our Facebook group, the video is posted there. Starlet did a live about boozy nuts, and they do look delicious, like what she does with them. Fun stuff.
Funny story is my niece came over with her 5-year-old daughter, and she saw my mortar and pestle on the counter, and she wanted to know what it was. And I told her, "Oh, well, do you want to use it?" And so she went into my pantry and she got some graham crackers out and she pushed them in, and then she went in the fridge and she got some blueberries and strawberries and smushed them all together, and then I had some of these nuts just sitting on the counter, and she put some of those in and smushed them all together, and then of course she found marshmallows and put those in. But we all had to try it because it was something she made, and we dipped graham crackers in it, and you guys, it was delicious, and you could taste those pecans in there. I was so surprised. So she wants to come back and try something else that I have just laying out on the corner next time.
We should have them come and help us for one of our lives.
Oh, the twins!
The
That would be fun.
twins. How cute would that be?
Yeah. Okay, here we go.
All right, let
I'm
me know.
just drinking it. I'm not even going to be doing all the nosing.
Well, you're missing out. If
It's
you don't
not
know,
wine. It's not whiskey.
if you don't nose it, you're missing out. I'm just saying. So go ahead and listen to what she says, but only believe about half of it because she didn't nose it.
Wow.
How is it? Pithiness? I'm curious.
Well, I think the pithiness when you just eat the nuts is what she was talking about.
Yeah.
Mm.
Is it sweetness? All sweet. Sweet pecan?
Mm-hmm.
Bitterness, pithiness,
don't-
any of that?
I'm not getting any bitterness. Mm.
Wow. You kind of just downed that whole thing. We must be getting near the end of the show.
It's 5 o'clock here, not even
It's 5
somewhere.
o'clock somewhere, right here.
Oh dear, we're having too much fun. Wow, we did pretty
Good.
good with all of those,
But
right?
it was great. You loved it.
I did, and
Good
you guys,
taste.
I know that I'm going to be making some banana ice cream this weekend. I think I'm going to make brownies tomorrow with that
With the
orange
orange.
cacao because, oh my goodness, it's going to be delicious.
Love it. There we go. So 6 extracts that we did in one show. I think that is a record. I don't think we've ever moved through so many extracts so quickly, and there will be more shows. And we're trying to time it so like 6 is kind of the max. We try to actually keep it like at 3 or 4 if we can, but sometimes it just aligns that way.
Well, it's hard to keep track of those spreadsheets. All of a sudden, you've got 6 things ready to go all at once, and there's nothing else to do but just to get dirty, get your hands in, get
There
it
you
done.
go. So we want to do one important thing. We want to give away a $25 e-gift card for to one of you that has been with us today. And the person we selected is Darlena Hoyle. Darlena, congratulations. Thanks for spending an hour with us today. Email us at support@vanillapura.com and we'll make sure that we get that free $25 gift card out to you. For everyone else, thank you. Thanks for being with us again. Thanks for riding this journey. We're having so much fun. We got a long way to go. I don't think we're going to get through all 40 recipes this year in our book, but we're gonna take a big dent out of maybe by the first part of next year. But we hope to have all of you with us when we do it. Our next live or workshop is our blueberry cinnamon extract with fresh blueberries, I think we use.
Yeah.
And so if you go to Eventbrite and you look for Vanilla Pura, you'll see when that is. I think it's right around the middle of July, July 12th-ish, if I recall, is our next one. And so we hope to have all of you there for that. We'll be posting another one for August here pretty soon as well, and we'll just keep them coming every month. But thank you. For more updates, subscribe to our YouTube channel, Vanilla Pura. Join us on our Facebook group. To all of our Club V Pura members, they get to join us for free by being a member of Club V Pura. Thank you. Thanks for being part of the club, and thanks for being with us so frequently. And to the new people on Eventbrite that are joining us for the first time, we hope we get to have you back again. Normally, when the show ends, we're able to sit down and we actually do like a face-to-face, for 10, 15 minutes. We try to talk to a lot of you. We don't have time today. We can't do it today. We're already a little bit over, but we will do it again next time. So we apologize that we're not going to have time to do the face-to-face this time, but hopefully the next time we can do it.
And I hope you're enjoying your summer and getting outside and enjoying that sun and just enjoying your family and your friends and making something with your vanilla.
Yes, have fun. Thank you so much for joining us. Have a wonderful rest of your week and rest of your month, and we'll see you in July. Happy extracting. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.